Welcome to PennPAC. We are so delighted that you have joined us and will participate on an upcoming consulting project team. We look forward to having you participate with us and want to provide you with some important information to help you get the most out of your experience. This short video will provide you with background information on PennPAC, a better understanding of how project teams work and the tools and support provided to our volunteers, and finally, a brief overview of the nonprofit sector to help you in your interaction with our clients. As you likely know by now, PennPAC's mission is to harness the intellectual talents and professional skills of alumni of the University of Pennsylvania in a meaningful and socially beneficial way. In this regard, PennPAC works with local nonprofit organizations to help them solve important business challenges through short-term consulting engagements. PennPAC was initially founded in 2010 by Penn alumna Jackie Einstein Astroff, class of 1993, with engagements kicking off in 2011 in New York, in Philadelphia in 2012, and in Silicon Valley in 2017. While PennPAC is closely aligned with the University of Pennsylvania, PennPAC is a separately incorporated nonprofit organization which receives no funding from the university. Rather, all of the financial support needed to run PennPAC comes from the generous support of our donors and friends, many of whom are our volunteers. PennPAC is expertly run by a top-notch team of volunteer leaders, including founder and executive director Jackie Einstein Astroff, Ann Turner, who is responsible for all project vetting and oversight, and Jeanette Donkervoigt, who handles our volunteer matching. We also have a wonderful professional staff, our operations manager Tracy Ellen Kamens, and project coordinator Angela Cluin. PennPAC is all about helping nonprofits thrive and does so in a number of different ways. Our strategic consulting projects are launched twice each year in the fall and spring. For each season, 4 nonprofit clients are selected and a 6-person consulting team is assigned. Each consulting project will run for 8 to 10 weeks. Impact events provide an opportunity for our alumni to give back within a shorter time frame. Through these single evening events, PennPAC works with a nonprofit client, either providing them with an intensive consulting session or working with their constituents in a skills-based activity, such as mock interviews or resume coaching. These events are open to all Penn alumni and may be attended during your consulting engagement, or you might consider getting involved with them in the future. Overall, PennPAC has had a significant impact on the nonprofit community, as these impressive statistics can attest. As you may know, we have a variety of different volunteer roles within PennPAC. The majority of our volunteers participate directly on our consulting teams and with our impact events. However, equally important are those volunteers who work behind the scenes on internal teams. Our consulting teams are made up of a liaison, who is the initial client contact before the project is handed over to the team leader, and who also provides oversight of the team throughout the project. The team leader, who serves as the main contact with the client and makes sure that the project stays on track. A deputy team leader, who acts as a sous chef, sounding board, and sometimes stand-in to the team leader, and 4 volunteer consultants. A brief role description of each of these roles is available for your perusal on our website. Our impact events require team leadership as well as the participation of our alumni. Finally, our internal teams play an important role with our nonprofit relations team, reviewing and evaluating applications from potential nonprofit clients, while volunteer applicants are welcomed and interviewed by members of our volunteer relations team. On occasion, we utilize a volunteer's unique talents on an ad hoc basis, depending upon the organization's needs, such as marketing, events, and fundraising. PennPAC's consulting volunteers are provided with the necessary tools and training to ensure that they are fully supported throughout their projects. In particular, volunteer consultants are presented with a comprehensive training manual, samples from previous related projects, and templates, all of which are easily managed via Dropbox and Google Docs. Liaisons, team leaders, and deputy team leaders have access to additional tools to assist them in their respective roles. We also host several social events which permit our volunteers to meet fellow Penn alumni and network with one another. Of course, volunteering with PennPAC provides both a fun and meaningful experience as you connect with the Penn and nonprofit communities. Similarly, PennPAC's impact also extends to its volunteers. Through our Power of PennPAC, volunteers have been able to strengthen their leadership skills, pursue new career paths, get more involved with nonprofits, and expand their networks. After a successful PennPAC assignment, Dominika Jaworski was hired by a PennPAC client thanks to a recommendation from her team leader. And similarly, Andrea Gural has taken on a board position with one of PennPAC's clients as a result of her engagement experience. Overall, we hope that your participation with PennPAC will be a rewarding and wonderful experience. It is amazing and rewarding to work with nonprofits. However, working with these organizations differs from working with for-profit organizations, and it is helpful to understand these differences when interacting with our clients. Accordingly, we will spend the last few minutes focused on giving you more insight into what's different. In particular, nonprofits are primarily focused on serving their constituents and in fulfilling their missions on a day-to-day basis, which takes priority over everything else. This singular focus ensures that those in need are provided with important resources and services. Most nonprofit organizations face challenges when it comes to resources, especially but not exclusively money. Consequently, nonprofits operate very leanly, and in this regard, they don't have a deep infrastructure with numerous specialized departments such as an IT or graphics department. Many employees may wear many hats. Generally, these organizations, especially the smaller ones, have limited resources and must do a lot on just a little. This is precisely why PennPAC services are so in demand. These organizations need this valuable assistance but would otherwise be unable to afford it. Further, it must be understood that these limitations make it challenging to implement change. Given the lack of time, limited staff, and daily operations which demand attention, it becomes difficult for such organizations to focus on strategic issues and special projects. Moreover, their reliance on volunteers as opposed to paid staff members may prolong task completion. However, this doesn't mean that strategic efforts won't be implemented, simply that such efforts may take longer to develop and implement. Additionally, as nonprofits, many organizations are focused on providing services to constituents who are unable to pay for those services. For example, a homeless shelter provides food and housing to those on the streets for low or no expectation of fee for service. Consequently, nonprofits must look to other sources of income to accomplish their goals and to support their daily operations. Most frequently, nonprofits are supported by a combination of gifts from individual and corporate donors. They may also receive grants from foundations and government sources, and may occasionally receive a non-cash gift, such as rental-free space or free merchandise. In some cases, the organization will charge fees for its services, such as the ticket sales and memberships associated with museums and the tuition charged by colleges and universities. However, these fees only cover a percentage of the organization's actual costs. Additionally, these organizations with an endowment will reap investment income. As with any consulting, it's important to get client input as you put together your recommendations for the project. Further, as nonprofits are mission-centered, it's important that the clients see how your recommendations will bolster their goals and fit within their mission. And finally, as nonprofit managers may not be familiar with the business jargon that you are comfortable with, it's important to avoid such language to ensure that your recommendations are not lost in translation. We'd also just like to briefly point out the need for cultural competence when working with nonprofits. A number of the people that work for nonprofits will be of different cultures and values than you come from. So it's important to recognize that there are these differences, value that diversity, and to be aware of any personal bias that you may or may not be projecting on another person. We also would suggest that you be careful about stereotyping and be open and flexible with your expectations. Thank you. Once again, we thank you for joining PennPAC. We hope you will connect with us on social media and invite you to use these channels to share your experience and take pride in your participation with us. Of course, feel free to contact us with any questions or concerns. In addition to these contacts listed, you can also reach out to your team liaison or team leader for more information. Thank you and welcome aboard.